This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last class, we discussed about that mkdir, ls command, tree command, cd, pwd, rmdir, rm command, and m command, yum for installing the packages, right? So rmdir command we are going to use for deleting the empty directories, right? rm command we are going to use it for deleting the non-empty directories and files. Okay, so if you want to delete the files or non-empty directories, we are going to use the rm command. So that is the difference between rmdir and rm. rmdir we can use for removing empty directories only. Okay. Okay. So and we discussed about the touch command also. Right. Discuss about that touch command also. See, Mithun is asking when we use rm-r. Baya, if you want to delete non-empty directory, suppose DevOps is not a non-empty directory, it is containing subdirectories. You can use that rm-rf. Okay, R means recursive, F means forcibly. So if you want to delete a file, you don't want to use that R. Just you can use the file name. So when you are deleting a non-empty directory, that time you have to use that R. R means recursive. Subdirectories first it will delete, then it will delete that parent directory. Okay, got it. Okay. Yes, RM also it will delete that non RM it will delete empty and non-empty directories. RMDIR it will delete only the empty directories. Okay. RM command it can use for deleting the files as well as. Okay. Okay. So we'll continue for some advanced commands. So in this slide we discuss about the touch command. Right. So now we'll discuss about that find command. Okay. So we have a files, we have a directories. Right. If you want to search file or directory in the Linux server, we are going to use the find command. In Windows machine, you have one option called search, right? There you will go and you will search it, either file name or directory name. Okay, even in the Linux also we can search the files or directories by using the find command. Using the find command, you can search the files or directories with various conditions. What are the conditions? You can search the files or directories which are having that some specific permissions. You can search the files or directories which are created by the specific user. Suppose I want to search all the files which are created by Bhaskar user. You can search it. If you want to find all the files which are having 1 GB size, you can search it using the find command. I want to find all the files which are created 1 year back. You can get it using the find command. Right. So using the find command, you can search with various conditions. The files are directories. Okay. So in one of the interview, they asked this question. This is an important question, and many times they ask this question. I want how to find all the empty files in current directory. This is the question. How to find all empty files in current directory? Okay. See, already we know that for search, we are going to use the find command, right? So find where you want to search, current directory. Current directory, how we are going to represent? Dot. So dot represents that current directory. Dot represents that current directory. So you want to search files. So already we know we can use find command for searching that files and directories. So if you want to specify that file, type F, type F. So if you execute this command, what it will give? It will give all the files in current directory. It will give all the files in current directory. But what is my requirement? Empty files. So that condition I have to add it. Okay. Hyphen type hyphen empty. This is the condition you have to add it. Okay. Find in current directory. I am searching with the files. What type of files? Empty files. Okay, so like this you can search empty files in the current directory. Suppose if you want to search in home directory, user home directory, who are executing this command, that user home directory I want to search, what to do? So how we are going to represent a home directory? Tilde symbol, tilde symbol. Who is the name join with HB? Okay, so this one, it is going to search all the empty files in your home directory. Okay, so if you want to search all the empty files in entered server, what to do? Forward slash. Just you can specify here forward slash. This is a root directory, right? So as a normal user, you are not able to search it. So when you want to search entire file system, you have to execute this command as a root user. You have to execute as a root user. Okay. So Paramir is asking how do we get all the options help in any other command. So we'll discuss that one. Using the man command, we can identify. We'll discuss Paramir. And one more thing, if you follow my document, here I have clearly explained that, okay, with in detail example. Okay, see, if you want to search with a specific file name, suppose I want to search mithun.sh in the user home directory. Find, specify where you want to search. Okay, hyphen name, which file you want to search. So here I have documented, okay, with the various examples. Just if you practice, this is more enough. So, and guys, don't practice these things, okay? Because still we didn't cover this one. What is this? All these things, okay? These things, okay? We didn't cover, okay? So whatever you can able to understand, go ahead and it is clearly explained what this command is going to do. Go through that one and you can practice it. Okay, So same way like, however, we have identified empty directories. I need to search. However, we identified empty files. Same way, I need to find that empty directories instead of files, directories. Okay, what to do? Hmm? How to find all the empty directories in current directory? Okay, so just instead of F, we are going to use the D. D means directory. Okay, D means directory. Okay, so see here, if you want to find that permissions, type F. See, we use that empty here. The condition is empty. Instead of empty, you can use the perm. This is a permissions. It is going to find all the this one. Same like a size also it is there. I think I have documented. See size. Okay, size here. See, so it will display the files which are having the greater than 1000 bytes. Like this, you can execute using the find command. You can search all the files or directories based on the condition. So I have documented many examples. Okay, so you can go ahead and practice it. So this is very important. Okay, find command. Many times they ask, and many times also we are going to use this one. So here D refers means directory. Okay, here F means file. Clear, guys? Okay, this is very important. N number of times we are also going to use. Okay, in our shell scripts. Okay, and also in our daily activities. See, yesterday we have created a files and directories, right? So it is created with some default permissions, right? It is created with some default permissions. On what basis that default permissions are going to set? It depends on umask value. Umask, or we can call it user mask. Okay, so this umask value is different for root user and normal user. So what is the default umask value for root user? Anybody idea? Linux admins? No, no. 0022 is the umask value, bhaiya. It is very important question. Okay. And for a normal user, N user means normal user. 3002. Guys, these are the default values. We are not setting. It is setting by the operating system. Okay. Many times they ask these questions also. What is the default umask value for root user? What is the default umask value for normal user? Okay. So like this, you have to be. Okay. So how to know that default user mask value is for root user 0022? Just execute that umask command. Okay, just if you execute the umask command, it is going to display that umask value. It is going to display the umask value. Okay, so if you want to display the umask value, we can use that umask command. If you want to set the umask value, you can use the umask command. See, these are the default values. Is it possible to change the umask value? Yes. How? Like this one, umask 0 2 2. So whatever the value you want, you can. If you execute this command, it is going to override that currently whatever that default umask value is there. With this one, it is going to override. Okay. So these are the default umask value for root user and normal user. Okay. So now, what is the default permissions if I create a directory with the root user? Okay, so if I create a directory with the root user, what are the default permissions it is going to get? It depends on umask value. So Madhu is asking, what is the use of umask value? So depends on umask value only, the default permissions are going to set. How? Let's see. So base permissions for directory is 0777 0777. Okay, Subhash, wait some time, you are going to get what is the 00, what is the 22 here. Okay, here I'm discussing about 77. What is this 77? We are going to discuss. Just remember that values. Okay, so however, like default umask value for root user and normal user, same way some base permissions are for directory is 0777. From that base permissions, you can subtract the umask value. Now you are creating a directory with the root user. So what is the root user umask value? 0022. So after subtracting, what you are going to get? 755. So if you create a directory with the root user, you are going to get that 755. If you create a directory with the normal user, 775, because the umask value for normal user is 0002. So you can subtract that 0777, okay, with this umask value 0002, you are going to get that 0775. So if you create a directory with the normal user, you are going to get that 77. So this 0, it is not a mandatory. Even if you don't keep also, not the issue. Even if you left side 0, you don't want to consider. Clear? Same way, if you create a file, what are the default file permissions? If you create a file with the root user, so base permissions for file is 666, 0666, or you can call as 666. So if now we were creating a file with the root user, so what is the root user umask value? 0022. Subtract that umask value from the base permissions, so you are going to get that 644. So if you create a file with the normal user, root user, you are going to get the permissions, default file permissions are 644. Okay, same way if you create a file with the normal user, so the normal user umask value is 0002. Subtract that you this default umask value from the base permissions, so you are going to get that 664. So if you create a file from the normal user, you are going to get that 664. If you create a file from the root user, 644. Like this, the default permissions are going to set for directory and files based on the UMask value. Now we will discuss about that what is the 644, 6644, 755, 7755, 022, 0002. See here, R means read. Okay, so we are going to represent R as a 4. Okay, W means write. Okay, so write we are going to represent 2. X means execute. Execute. So execute we are going to represent as 1. Okay, now if you see 755, we'll take it 755. Here, each file or each directory having that 3 sets of permissions. Okay, this is one set, this is another set, this is another set. So first set is going to represent that user permissions. User means owner, whoever created that file or directory, that user will become the owner. Okay, so first set is going to represent that user level. Second set is going to represent that group. Third set is going to represent that others. User, group, others. Okay, so if you want to get that 7 value, what are the things we need to add it? 4 plus 2 plus 1. So 7 represents that read, write, execute. Why? Because if you want to get that 7, 4 plus 2 plus 1, then only it will get that 7, right? Okay, if you want to get the 5, 5 means 4 plus 1, right? 4 means read, 1 means execute. So 5 meaning is read and execute permissions. Okay, so same way, like you can convert this 7 to that alphabets. Okay, so 7 means read, write, execute. 7 means read, write, execute. 5 means read, execute. Okay, so if you convert this 775 to the alphabet, so you are going to get this kind of permissions. Same way you can convert this 664. So can anybody answer? Can you represent that 664 as a numbers in the alphabets? Yes, Varsha Reddy has answered correctly. RW, RW, R. That's all. 6 means read, write. Read means 4, write means 2. So 6, 6, 4. So if I create a file with the normal user, these are the permissions we are going to get. If I create a directory with the normal user, I am going to get these permissions. Now you people are clear, right? What is this 7? What is the 5? So now you people can say, tell me, 700 means 700 means No, Bhaiya, Nagarjun Reddy. Yes, read, write, execute. This one. Yesterday we created a one directory like this one, mkdir hyphen m 700. Okay, Python. Right. So for this Python directory, we are going to get this permissions. Right now, you are clear about that, about these numbers, how we are going to represent the permissions. Right. So anybody have any questions on this one? Now you are clear, right? So based on the UMask value only, default permissions are going to set. Is it possible to change the UMask value? Yes. Suppose if I change the UMask value using like this one, UMask, whatever the value you want to change it. So it is going to override it. Okay, so if I change the UMask value, assume now I have changed the UMask value. I have changed the UMask value. Okay, so after changing the UMask value, if you create a file, assume now I have executed this command. After executing this command, just if you execute the command UMask command, it is going to give the output as 022. So displaying the UMask value, setting the UMask value, we are going to use the UMask command. Right? Okay. Now, if I create a file, what are the permissions I am going to get? Can anybody answer? Aju, right now the UMask value is this one. The UMask value is 022. Now, if I create a file, what are the permissions I am going to get it? File Bayan, Paramveer. The base permissions file is what? 666. So from 666, if you subtract that 222, you are going to get the 444. 44 means read. These are the permissions you are going to get. Okay. So if we execute this command, it is going to change the UMask value temporarily. After you can log out and you can re-log in, it is going to again set that default UMask value. How to change the UMask value permanently? How to change the UMask value permanently? So for that one, you can add this value into the user home directory. Okay, bash underscore profile is one file is there. Okay, so there you can go and add this command. So suppose user home directory means this one /home. Suppose if it is a Bhaskar user, so if you go to the Bhaskar user, you will see that bash underscore profile. You can go open this file and you can add this command. Okay, so if you change the UMask value, if you add this command in this one, the UMask value permanently it is going to set 022 to the Bhaskar user only. Why? Because I'm adding this command in the Bhaskar user home directory bash underscore profile. So if I want to change the UMask value for all the users, if I want to change the UMask value for all the users, that time you have one file called as profile is a one file which is available in the etc directory. So just if you add this command in the profile file, which is going to set to that all the users. Okay. So I don't know, Sahil, keep your name. Okay, don't keep your daughter's name, son names and all. Whoever attending, their names you have to keep so that we can able to understand who is joining. Okay, so I don't know who is that person. He is asking the question, in what scenario we can change the permissions temporarily. See, you are writing a one shell script. In that shell script, okay, you have to create a one directory or file with various permissions. So that time change the umask value and create it. Okay, it is going to create that files or directories based on your requirement. Okay, so in the shell script also we are going to do it. So I am explaining that based on the umask value, the default permissions for file or directories are going to change. Now you are clear, right? You are agree, right? So based on the umask value only, the default permissions for file and directories are going to set. Clear? Okay. So now let me connect to the server and we'll verify it. So whatever we discussed here, okay, the umask value for root user and normal user, we'll verify it whether we are going to get these values or not. Okay, let me connect to the server. So server is stopped, you can start it. So once server is started, you can connect to the server and you can execute that umask command, all these things. Okay, so you people clear right about these values now. So from yesterday onwards, people are asking what is the 700, what is the 2, what is the 7, what is the 600. Now you are clear, right? So Rajendra is asking if we create a file by changing the umask value, temp and log out. Okay, once we log in back later, will permissions for the file change or remains as previously stored? Okay, good question, Bhaiya. See what Rajendra is asking. So temporarily we have changed the umask value like this one. Assume I have created a file. So if I create a file, it is going to create the permissions like this one. Now I logged out and again I logged in. So the umask value is going to be default one, right? 0022. If it is a root user, if it is a normal user, 0002. These directory permissions are going to change? No. Whatever that permissions it is set when it is creating, it is never going to change, even if you re-log in also. But umask value is going to be changed when if you don't add this command in any one of this file. Just you have executed like this. You have executed this command. Got it? Okay, so let me connect to the server now. And you people are clear, right? How to connect to the server? Okay, so let me open the terminal. Go to the folder where your PEM files are there. So every restart IP address is going to change. That's why it is asking. Are you sure? Continue connecting. Yes. I have connected successfully. If you want, you can type the uname. Let's see. Linux it is showing. Now I have logged in as a normal user or root user. Normal user. Okay, so for normal user, the UMask value will be double 0002, right? Just type UMask. See, 0002. Right, this is what we discussed. See, for normal user, the UMask value will be 0002. Okay, so we have created a file yesterday, right? So let me create a mkdir DevOps. It is created. So let me create a one directory with the custom permissions mkdir-m 700. Okay, Python. Now Python directory is going to create with the 700 permissions. DevOps directory is going to create with the default permissions. These are the 775. Okay, so for a DevOps directory 775. 775 means read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, execute. Right. For Python, it will be 700. 700 means read, write, execute, hyphen, hyphen. Okay. Can we see? Just type ls hyphen l. If you observe for the DevOps, see, for DevOps, this is what we expected. Read, write, execute, right? See, exactly whatever we expected it is. Even for Python also, read, write, execute. Remaining. See, each file or each directory having three sets of permissions. First one is going to represent the term user. Here user is EC type and user. Means we can call as owner also. Group, others. Others means, see, for this DevOps file, DevOps directory, who is the owner? EC type and user. Which group it belongs to? EC type and user group. Assume in this same Linux server, Mithun is a one user. Now, Mithun user is not the owner of this particular directory, and Mithun is not the group of this EC type and user group. He is not part of this group. So, Mithun will become the others. So, for this particular directory, Mithun having the permissions read and execute. Okay, clear now? User, group, others. So we are going to represent like this one. U, G, O. U means user, we can call as owner. Okay, G means U means user, G means group, O means others. Clear? So now I am going to change the UMask value. How to change the UMask value? Using the UMask command only. So UMask 222. So even if you give that 222, automatically it is going to take like 0222. Remove it, execute it. Now we can type UMask. See UMask. Now I have changed the UMask value that these files and directory permissions are going to change. No, it is not going to disturb that previously whatever the files or directories are created. Now whatever the files or directories are going to create, those files it is going to reflect this new UMask value. Let me create touch test.txt. So for test.txt, it is going to set 444. Let's see, LSFL. 44 means read. See, but these files and these directories never going to change the permissions, even if you change the UMask value. So after changing the umask value, what are the files or directories you are going to create? Those files or directories it is going to set the new umask value. Basic question, purpose of umask. Mahesh Bhaiya, I have clearly mentioned based on the umask value only, the permissions are going to set. Okay, again from starting I need to explain it. I have mentioned that maybe you didn't hear this one. Based on the umask value only, what are the files or what are the directories we are going to create, for those things permissions are going to set default permissions. Okay, so now we have verified that using the umask command we have displayed that default umask value, and we have changed the umask value using the umask command, and we have verified that after changing the umask value created a file, and we have validated it. So whatever we are expecting, that permissions has set. Same way you can switch to the root user and you can verify it. So for root user, what is the umask value? 0022. See, this is what we are expecting. Right. So today assignment is, however, we have created a file or directory to the normal user, create a file or directory with the root user and verify it. See, if you create a file or directory, these are the permissions are going to, default permissions are going to set. Just you can validate it, whether it is setting the correct default permissions are. Can you do it? Okay, good. Okay, so if you type exit, it is going to log out. Now, if you observe here, this is a default empty file. It is an empty directory. Okay, so let me create one directory inside that DevOps directory. The name called as Linux. Now, if you see, DevOps is not an empty directory. Python is an empty directory. Test.txt is empty file. DevOps.txt is empty file? No. Why? Because see, it is having some content. That why see it is showing the size. Okay. Here, sir, Python is an empty directory, but still it is having 6. So internally it is having some the file, inode data structure it is contained, right? That's why it is having some size, but it is empty directory. Now you can find, you can search that empty files using the find command. Find, if you want to search in current directory, dot files hyphen type f, okay, and empty. If you don't specify this condition empty, what will happen? It is going to use all the files in the current directory. See, test.txt is a empty file. That's why it is giving. So if you want to search empty directories, just specify that D. See, if you observe inside the DevOps directory, Linux is a one directory there. So Linux is an empty directory. It does not contain anything. But the DevOps is not an empty directory. Python is empty directory. In config directory, PROCPS is a one empty directory. Okay. Now currently I am in here EC user home directory. Now I want to create a file in the Linux directory from here. How to do it? So we know that for creating a file, we are going to use the touch command. So I want to create a devops.txt in Linux directory. So if you execute like this one, what will happen? It is going to create in current directory. But my requirement is I want to create in the Linux directory. So what you have to do? You have to specify that the directory name where you want to create it like this one. So this is the correct command or this is the correct command. First one or second one? Which one is the correct command? So everyone is saying second. Two guys, Paramveer and Sumit has given that first one. So many people has failed. Okay, so you people has to write one more time exam. So this is the wrong answer. Okay, so this is the correct one. So I will explain you what is the wrong. See guys, if you keep forward slash here, this one we can call as a absolute path. Okay, so absolute path starts from root directory. So it is expecting DevOps directory inside the root directory. Do we have that one? No, we don't have the DevOps directory in the root directory. So in this case, it is expecting that the DevOps directory in the current directory. So this one we can call as a relative path. Relative path starts from current directory. Absolute path starts from your root directory. Okay. So now anyway in current directory DevOps directory is there. Inside DevOps directory Linux is there. Inside the Linux I am creating a file now. Okay. So it is saying that you don't have the permissions. Okay. So why? Because if you check it ls-l for this particular DevOps okay directory read write execute it and you can check it ls-l DevOps. If you observe that Linux directory don't have the write access. Why? Because we have changed the umask value we have created right after changing the umask value only we created a Linux directory. If you observe Linux directory, do we have that write permissions? We don't have the write permissions. That's why it is not able to create it. So why? Because the umask value is different now. See, the umask value is 0 2 2. So 555. See, 555. We don't have the write permission. That's why it is saying that permission denied. Okay. Is it possible to change the permissions after creating for directory or file? Yes, it is possible. So, how to change the permissions for the file or directory? So, we'll come back. So, just type the top command and hit the enter so that your session is not going to be inactive. We'll come back here again. Now, we'll discuss about the chmod. So using this chmod means change mode. Using this command, we can change the permissions for the files or directories. How? Okay. See chmod syntax permissions. What permissions you want to? Directory name or file name. This is the syntax. Okay. Suppose for a DevOps directory or first we'll go with files devops.txt. I want to remove all the permissions. chmod 0, 0, 0. So you need to remove all the permissions means 0. Okay. So now once we execute this command, if we execute ls-l, what will happen? It is going to show like this one. DevOps.txt. These are the permissions. Correct. Now I want to give read access for only the owner. See, listen my question. I want to give that only the read access to the owner to the devops.txt file. Now how to give the permissions? chmod. Oh, thank you. Karthikeyan and Naveen has given that correct answer. Super. Yes, devops.txt. See, 4 means read. First permissions are going to represent user. User are we can call as owner. And the second 0. Third one 0. Group and others. So after executing this command, what are the permissions I am going to get? Yes or no? Now my requirement is I want to give read access for everyone. User group others. What to do? Oh, good boys. Varsha Reddy, listen my question. Read access for everyone. 444. Okay. So if you use that 444. Okay. So what will happen? It is going to be like this one. Like this one. Yes or no? Are you agree? Yes. Listen my question. I want to give full access for user and read access for user group and others. Full access for user, read access for group and others. Oh, Harinath is full fast. 744. 7 means full access, 4 means read. Right? Now we were clear, right? So based on these numbers, you can set the partition. So if I want to give full access for everyone, oh, people are very fast. Thank you. Good boys. 7 is the highest permissions in the Linux server. 7 means read, write, execute. 777 means for everyone, user, group, others, you are giving that all the permissions. Okay. Now I am going to, so just type Control C. If you type Control C, it will terminate this one. Now, if you see DevOps directory, I want to give full permissions. DevOps directory. chmod, you are saying that 777 DevOps. If I execute like this one, the DevOps having that subdirectory called as Linux. For subdirectories also going to set this 77 permissions or only the DevOps directory? Subdirectories also only DevOps guys. Only the parent directory is going to set. Okay, let's see. Now if you say, see, for DevOps directory, it's set at all the permissions. If you check it, ls-l DevOps, If you observe, for Linux directory is a one subdirectory, right? It is not setting that 700 permissions. So if you want to set for subdirectories also, what to do? You have to use that -r. So here R is a option. R means recursive. See guys, yesterday class we used that rm-r, right? Here also R means recursive. chmod-r. Here also the meaning is recursive, right? See, in the Linux, command should be in the lowercase. Options may be a uppercase. So sometimes R should be capital letter. Sometimes with other commands it should be lowercase. But here in rm-r, don't use the uppercase. You have to use the lowercase only. So why sir I need to use like they have designed such a way like that one. So here if we use that uppercase R, it is going to set what are the permissions we are going to specify for the subdirectories and files also. Now if you check it ls-l devops, see it is setting that the 7 permissions for Linux also. Now if you want you can create it touch. So currently you are in the ECT user home directory. Touch inside DevOps Linux is that inside Linux I want to create that DevOps.txt. See, I have created now. Earlier we were getting the error because that time we don't have the right access. Now we have the access. So if you want to delete the permissions, all the permissions for DevOps directory, what to do? Or Python directory, chmod 000 Python. Now we can check it. See, no permissions at all for Python directory. Okay, so guys, when you are using that files, you don't want to specify that -r. -r we are going to specify, okay, this one only for the directories. So if you want to set that permissions for subdirectories and files inside that directory, we are going to use the -r. Clear? Now I am going to change the, I am going to give the read access for everyone. chmod 444 Python. Now we can see RRR, right? In Python when permissions are 00, I have changed by see here chmod. I have given that. Can we access the content inside? No. So Paramveer is saying that in Python directory, okay, for Python directory 00 permissions. So that time inside this Python directory, if any files are there, can we access it? It is not possible. Why? Because you don't have the permissions. Okay. Same way, if you want to remove the permissions for files, chmod 000 devops.txt. Now if you see for devops.txt, you don't have the permissions at all. Now I don't want to use these numbers. See, if you want to give the read access for everyone for this devops.txt, we are going to use this one. I don't want to use the numbers. I have to use this alphabets. how to give it? I want to give the read access for dev of the txt. How? Anybody idea? Okay, so Karthikeyan is saying that chmod ugo plus r devops dot txt. Is it correct, guys? So yes, you can specify that ugo, or even if you don't specify also, just if you give like this one also, it is going to work. Let's see. LSFNL now. See, it is. Even if you don't specify, U means user, G means group, O means others. Okay, so if I want to give that write access for everyone, you will say that plus here W. Let's see. So right now, only the read access is there for dev.txt. Right here, only the read access is there. Now if you type it lsfnl, no permissions at all. So guys, when you are giving write and execute, you have to specify it clearly. Then only it is going to work. Only for read it is going to work. Without specifying anything for read, it will work. Even if you don't specify like this one also, it will work. But for write and execute, you should specify that explicitly as per the, so because of that some security constraints. Now see, same way execute also. By execute means not ex. Okay. See, clear? Now I am going to delete all the permissions for devops.txt. chmod ugo minus read write execute devops.txt. Now we can check it. See what I did for user group others. I am removing. That's why I'm using minus. What are the permissions I'm removing? Read write execute. So this one equals to the this. Got it? Okay. Now I want to give that right now it is no permissions. See, for dev.txt no permissions. Now my requirement is I want to give the full access for user, read access for group, write access for others. How we are going to give? So if it is the numbers like this one, we can give it 7, 4, 1. Right? 7 means all, 4 means read, 1 means execute. Yes or no? But I don't want to use the numbers. I want to use alphabets. So Krishna is saying that U plus read write execute. Okay. Then if you give like this one, Baya, only for user it is going to set full permissions. But what about 4.1? G plus 4, O plus X, super. Okay, so comma G plus R, comma O plus X. So comma separated, you can specify it. Okay, let's see. Now we can see read, write, execute, full permissions, right? Group read, others execute. Now we were clear about that, how to set the permissions, on what basis the default permissions are going to set, right? Yes or no? So guys, this is very, very important topic. So that's why I spent more than 1 hour on this topic only. Clear? Many times they asked about that UMask command, right? CHMOD, how to change the UMask value. If I change the UMask value, and they are going to give one UMask value. Okay. If I create a file with these UMask value with the normal user, what are the permissions we are going to get it? Okay. So many times they ask this question. Now I will ask one question. Assume DevOps.txt having that these permissions by a. This is a one interview question. Can I update this particular file? Suppose assume DevOps.txt having some content hello. Can I able to update hello with hi? So people are saying no. Sheikh is saying yes. Naveen is saying yes. Yes or no? Yes, no, yes, no, no, yes. No, it is not possible. So people are thinking that write access is there. Yes, we can update this one. But Baya, we don't have the read access. Without read access, how we will see the content first inside this particular file? Get it? See, without R, you are not able to see the content inside this particular file, even though if you have the right access. This is tricky question, right? That's why they asked in the interview. Okay. So guys, if you follow me and whatever I'm saying here, easily you are going to get. You don't want to go through that one. Just you have to understand it. We can not replace, but we can add it. Yes, Charan. We can add a hi, but we are not able to update it. So my question is, can I update it? Okay, that is my question. We can add it, okay, but we are not able to update it. Okay, so right now for this particular file, okay, EC2-user is the owner, EC2-user is the group name. Is it possible to change the ownership? Assume EC2-user is leaving this project. Okay, we want to change the ownership, whatever the his owner for that files and directories, we need to change that. So how to change the ownership? CHOWN. CHOWN means change owner. Change owner. Okay, CHOWN. Who is the owner? New owner name. Suppose I want to change to the root. See guys, whatever that username you are specifying, this user should available in the server. Otherwise, it is not going to update. Okay, see, just compare with our real life. Suppose assume I sold one bike to that other person. So that person has to exist in the earth, right? Otherwise, how I am going to sell my bike? Same here also. When you are going to change the ownership for this particular file, this user has to exist in your server. So sometimes what the people are going to do, they are going to keep their name. You are going to get a error. And one more thing, first of all, this CHOWN command you are not able to execute as a normal user. See, even I sold my bike. Can I transfer without RTO permissions? RTO has to do it, right? Same way here, even I am the owner of this particular file. See, EC-type user is the owner and he's trying to change the ownership to the root, but he don't have. He will get the error. See, changing ownership of DevOps permission operation not. So switch to the root user sudo su. See, I didn't mention hyphen. Now, if you see for this particular devops.txt, EC-type user is the owner. CHOWN. Suppose I am using that Mithun is the username. That username is not available. What error you are going to get? Let's see. See, invalid user. Because Mithun is not a user in that particular server. We didn't create it still. Okay. So now we can use the CHOWN root already. This is existed user root devops.txt. Now if you see for root for this devops.txt user has changed it. Same way you can change the group also. CHGRP. CHGRP is a group change group. So wheel is a one predefined group is there in the Linux server. Okay, I'm changing to the devops.txt file. Oh, WHEL, not to EL. See, now if you see, username is changed, group name also changed. Okay, is there any way command? Is there any command to change the username and group name at a time? Yes, CHOWN. Again, I am going to revert back. EC2 hyphen user is my username. Group name EC2 hyphen user. So colon separated by you can specify it and DevOps that txt. Now if you observe, see it is username and group name both it is changed at a time. Okay. Now can I change the ownership for directories? Yes. How? CHOWN root DevOps. Now, if I execute like this one, the ownership is going to change only for DevOps directory or subdirectories as well as and files as well as. Is it going to change for subdirectories and files as well as? Yes or no? No, only for the DevOps directory. Suppose if you want to change for subdirectories, what to do? Capital letter R. Capital letter R, you have to use it. Okay, CHOWN, CHMOD, CHGRP, you should use the capital letter R. Now if you see, it is changed. Even if you want, you can check it LSFNL DevOps. For subdirectories also changed. See, the Linux is a directory. See? So if you want to revert it, CHOWN hyphen R EC2 hyphen user. Now see, clear guys? So today we discussed about that find command, UMAS command, CHMOD, CHOWN, CHGR. These are the 6 commands we discussed. 5 commands only. Right? So tomorrow we are going to discuss about the CP, MV, file, WC, LL, and we are going to continue other slide editors. Okay, these editors also very important. Clear, guys? Anybody have any questions before winding up? Okay, so already I have shared that material in the Skype group. Please go ahead and start practicing today onwards. You should finish it whatever we discussed so far. Okay. If you have any questions, don't ping me personally. Ping that error message in that Skype group so that everyone knows what error you are getting. If others will get the same error, they are going to rectify it. I will answer that. Don't ping me personally. Okay. So we have created that Skype group for discussing whatever errors you are getting, right? Technical discussions only. Even we have created a Telegram group also is there. So I will send you that Telegram group URL. First you can register. First you can install the Telegram app in your mobile, create account, then click on that link from your mobile. Okay. So clear guys? Okay. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. And one more thing.